Alright everyone, it's Professor Ino095 back with something sort of like a vlog-ish and something I just want to touch on, like my WGP experience in general. So yes, WGP is Sunday, so I hope everybody had a good time, everybody had fun, regardless of where you are, how where you place. So yeah, it was on Sunday. So it was on Evolve Concept Mall. So it just about 460 plus people, give or take, and probably I heard my friends say it's about 500, so which is a lot. So it's over 400 people ish. So the venue's not that bad. It's there's a lot of people. So they're definitely one of the big events, big amount of people I've seen so far. So anyways, yes, before we get straight into this whole vlog thingy that I'm gonna share a little bit. So this video is mostly about sharing my own experiences. So for that, if you do enjoy this video, if it's your first time watching this video, hit like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos to come, right? Because there's more content, so I'm pretty sure because I'm gonna interview all these people, I'm gonna do a deck profile, I'm gonna do fight videos, etc. So yeah, stay tuned for more. Anyways, let's get straight into the whole reporting part of the WGP Season 4. So for champions, we have Madoyan. So Madoyan is the champion for Malaysia Season 4 WGP. So he's using Prism. So we have Jeffrey. Jeffrey is the second place. Jeffrey Low is going to be the second place. Lo Liang, third place, and then fourth place is my good friend here, Daniel. Daniel is using Graduate. Jeffrey, I'm pretty sure he's using Luwat, and Lo Liang is using Youth Book. So yeah, pretty good, pretty nice. And as for Saturday, we have the BT13, BT12 Trial Booster, Trial Booster tournament, the playmat tournament, where you can only use black BT12 right lines, BT13 right lines to compete. So Jiayun, also a good friend of mine, finally got to the top, the champion, so he got this playmat, so which is pretty cool. So I can think, yeah, why not, right? Then there you have the rest of the top 8 teams. So we have Keizo. Keizo is using Office, my good friend also. So here's Jeffrey, Lo Liang, Randy, also a friend of mine. He's using Luard. Josiah is a friend of mine also, Luard. And then we got Daniel is using Gradual. I think this is Austin, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's using Luard, I think. So there's 2 Luards, 2 Youth Books, and Madoyan of course is using Prism. So in total for the top 8, we have 8 people over here. So we have 2 Luards, 2 Youth Book, 1 Prism, 1 Giorgio, and 1 Office, and 1 Yanon. Okay, so I think that, yeah, so I think he's using, no, I think Austin is using Yanon, if I'm not mistaken, right? So yeah, I think that it kind of explains the Yanon there. So yeah, Austin is using the Yanon, yes. I think he's Austin, right? So don't get me wrong, people, because I don't know some of these people here, but please forgive me if I get your names wrong, or if I get your decks wrong. So yeah, yeah, that's about it. So as for me, WGP Season 4, I'm using Graduate this time round. So I felt the reason why I want to bring Graduate is for several reasons. I think the first thing is because I originally I was debating whether to bring Jet or Youth Book, or the Youth Jet, Youth Book, or Graduate into this tournament. So I ended up using Graduate, and I'm not using Jet, I'm not using Youth Book, because obviously I don't have Youth Book in real life. So but since I'm playing mostly Dark Sticks deck, I think the only Dark Sticks deck that is still meta relevant and still is going strong in this particular meta is still Graduate. Jets unfortunately has dropped very far, very low. Not that low, I would say, but because I felt Jet has its issues early game. Because if you're going first, there's not much you can do, and not to mention that the order helps a little bit, but it's not too much. And besides, if you're fighting against rush decks Go, Lianon, and also very heavy hitters on their first turn, Youth Book, especially on Full Blast, then I'm going to have a huge problem with it, facing it. So surprisingly, for this time round, I didn't face any Youth Books, I didn't face any no, I did face a Shiranui. So I'm gonna like explain in details about like my matchups and whatnot. So in the end of the day, I said like I might as well just bring it for Jewels, but sadly I did not make it to top 8. I was so close to making it to top 8. Not that close, honestly speaking, but I kind of like I kind of like bearing the hope that I can manage to get into top 8, but that's I didn't make it, but that's fine. Because so far this is my best personal record in WGP. You know, so in my own personal sense, in my own personal experience. So I've won 6 games, I lost 3 games, but that's pretty average. That's pretty good. So I think I got 40th place out of like all of the 460 plus people joining the tournament. So yeah, I consider this like as like a form of like sense of achievement of myself. Even though I didn't get top 8, I think this is the best I've done in WGP so far. So consider that as a blessing, you know, count that as a blessing. So here is the WGP banners. So we have like Yu, Lianon, Urara and like Raika, and you have like Star Arena, Yufa and Lianon over there. So this is just the center stage, and seeing me being an idiot over there, yes, doing this pose. Anyways, yes, so that's about it. So anyways, for the time being, I think I can get straight into like sharing into my whole matchups. So for those of you who cannot see this list, I apologize. I will try to make it, you know, I will try to explain it here. But for those of you who like, you know, who cannot see this very carefully, I'm gonna explain it to you. So there are 9 rounds in total. So 9 rounds is pretty long. It's pretty exhausting. So I would say like, you know, just play it all the way. So honestly speaking, I'm pretty satisfied with my you know, my rankings and my matchups so far. So I think it's okay-ish, right? So first off, round 1, Shiranui, Samuel. I fought against Samuel. So round 1, I won against Shiranui going first. Round 2, Silhouettes, I won going second. Third place, I won against Prism going first. Fourth place, I fought against Bastion. I won going first. So the first 4 games, the first 4 rounds I have won, but with the exception of like I only went second on the second round, and then I lost on round 5 to the unknown going second. I won with Luat on round 6 going first, and the next 2 rounds I lost against my goal. 2 rounds in a row going second. So that is the most annoying and the most infuriating part of the day, but that's okay-ish. It's my goal, what do you expect, right? So last but not least, round 9 is I won against Luat going second, right? So pretty weird match up, surprisingly, because I did not fought against like I didn't really face a lot of like youth quirks today. I didn't fought like Morphonica. I didn't, you know, I mean to be fair, this Morphonica, I would say like Morphonica is still a rather relevant meta deck-ish, because like how defensive they can be sometimes. A youth quirk, I did not fought youth quirk surprisingly. So that's, I would say that's a pretty nice escape, I would say. I don't know, like some people is gonna like anyways, forget about that, okay. I think in like the first round, so like I'm gonna detail my experiences first, so like this is gonna be like a rather long story time for me, like for all of us here. So for me, Shiranui, which is really funny, I fought against Samuel. So I think I remember like he was on a grade 210. He has 2 full rise with like 2 10 rise on the back as well. Like he has 2 AK boosters on the back and 2 full rise, and he was at the Shoji Doji grade 210. I think I was like also on like a grade 210 as well. So he was swinging with the Vanguard first. I gave him like an OT to pass. I gave him a 15k shield. I gave him OT to pass, and OT he did second OT. So I damage checked and OT as well. So that's kind of like a huge escape for me. So like pretty safe part. So 100 million, and of course Shoujo Doji is gonna like swing again, so I give him like a 15k, like at least that's a no pass, and then obviously the full rise is gonna be, you know, can't hit, and then it's my turn. I rolled to grade 3, yada yada. I rolled to grade 4, yada yada. I think I got like a crit. I think I got like crit and heal on my Ignis turn, so and try to like deplete his Vanguard to 0. By the time it's like grade 4 turn, obviously that's what Ignis do. So I think like he cannot guard the rest of my attack. So that's round 1, right? So that's about it. Silhouette going second was pretty, I would say like pretty funny, because for the entire game he did not Persona roll. He did not Persona right the entire turn, which is like funny but also kind of sad at the same time. But to be fair, Silhouette has given me like a lot of like situations where I have to think twice to like give him whether or not to give him 2 to pass. But knowing Silhouette, I think like I have to like start defending. But luckily for me at the time, I have around like 3 PGs in my hand, or 3 PGs, and I drew into my OT. That's the thing. I need to remember I drew into my OT. I did drew into my OT. Yes, I did drew into my OT, but I PG'd his Vanguard all the time. And then when like the power buff like was huge at the time, because like he's playing fronts as well as crits, and when he pumps the arms and then call it out, I managed to defend it, and then that's game luck. So like it's my turn, I do my Ignis magic, and then voila, right? So that's about it. Prism going first was also, I don't recall how the situation happened when it comes to Prism in general, so I kind of forgot that like he also didn't Persona roll. I also like recall that the Prism player also didn't Persona roll the entire game, which gives me like a lot of like advantages as well. So luckily enough he didn't Persona roll. But if he did, he could have been swinging me for 58k-ish on both sides because of the grade 2. Not to mention that he, on that particular turn, he also played the order, which gives yourself, the player, all rear guards get 5k, which is like pretty important and pretty good in like in Prism decks, especially. So that was a very tough matchup, I would say. Not to mention because like Prism can actually rush you early game. And he did. The Prism player actually like tried to like rush me early game, so I trust Jordan. Yes, Jordan is of my opponent's name. So shout out to you, Jordan. Well played. So he managed to rush me on like grade 2 turns. I managed to like defend everything and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure I got a trigger shutdown like on the grade 1 turn or grade 2 turn. I'm not sure. I think on my grade 2 turn, but I managed to gut some of it. So yeah, and then that's about it. I think like since he cannot Persona roll the entire game, I think I do my magic, and that's about it lah. And Bastion is also like pretty interesting because like who's my opponent again? Alan. Yeah, Alan, I think it's his name. Alan is also like a very good Bastion player, so shout out to you as well. So Bastion is pretty interesting because for I think like going first, I have like a lot of my advantage as well, because I think he's using the Blaster Dark right line for his Bastion, if I'm not mistaken. So I could have been wrong, but I think he did. I'm trying to like recall as much as possible before I forget everything. So that's why I want to make this vlog. So I think he used the Blaster right line, if I'm not mistaken, Blaster Dark, so he can manage to like twin drive on his first Blaster Dark turn. So I managed to like just give him a 15k to pass him. So surprisingly he didn't check a trigger. I'm not sure. I kind of like forget a lot of things, but when he managed to get to his Bastion turn, and then obviously him going second was the matter of fact that he can already start to drive check, which means that he can do 4 drive checks at the same time. So I managed to push him to, I think I managed to push him into like 4 damage on my first grade 3 turn, and then after that he rushes me back. and then I ended up with like 4 damage. But when he drive checks all the grade 3s and whatnot, I think that's when I said, okay, I think it's about time for me to rush him back lah. So knowing that he has like so many things and it is, you know, many grade 3s in his hand, I try to like right in the grade 4, try to rush him as fast as possible. So rock cargo and then the mate, and then that's about it. I think it's either the 2 rock cargos, like 1 rock cargo, 1 mate, I don't remember. So yeah, trying to rush it, trying to like give him the huge power buff, giving them all the huge power buff that I needed. So at the end of the day, I kind of like won that round. So yes, that's how I won against Bastion. Leonon was pretty funny. Now Leonon, I fought against Kelvin Chia, so also a huge shout out to you. Kelvin Chia, he went first, which means that for me personally, Dragulok is a very slow deck. So he cannot, because like I felt like Dragulok cannot stand rush. So that's why Leonon going second was the huge. No, Leonon going first having the huge advantage, honestly speaking, because like even though I can attack first, he can always come back after that, and because like I think he has the Rosarian Fairy, trying to like call out the full board plant token by the time he's at grade 2. I think he's using the Zolta right line if I'm not mistaken, with a lot of like Misty Arcs, I'm pretty sure. And that's where he starts like trying to rush me as much as possible. So swinging me for like 13k, 15k, all of them with magic numbers. So obviously like it's very hard to guard. So it's my turn, and then I try to like drive, and I managed to damage him. But unfortunately, he ulted on my second. He ulted on his second damage, and that's where I say, dang it. So can't do much. So in his turn, and then he trying to boost. With Leonon like trying to like do the triple drive thingy. Now at the time I have 2 damage. At the time I have like 2 damage. So I should have PG'd actually. So that was my worst mistake. I should have PG'd. But nevertheless, it's a triple drive. He managed to check 1 crit. Knowing the situation in my hand, I also cannot like I also cannot manage to withstand the 2 crits as well. So I just have to like take it my damage lah. So he managed to push me to 5. Now it's my turn. I managed to roll into Ignis. No, not Ignis. I'm going second, so I have to write the grade 3 first, and then I do my own shenanigans. Now going like second, of course I can like reduce my opponent to power to 1 and double crit. So swing with Rock Argo, and then I swing with another with Rock Argo, and then like swing with like Dragulok. And then I recalled that he actually tried to go past me, but I checked an OT instead, so which is hilarious. And I managed to push him to 3, but unfortunately, like it wasn't enough. He managed to get the rest. I think he PG one of them actually. Like one of my PG, one of my Rock Argos. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I managed to push Kelvin into 5 damage. Before it's his turn to write into Vivace and call it a day. So yeah, that was a very tough rough round. I'm not gonna lie. So that is like a lot of things that has been going on with that round. So for me, that was my first loss. But to be fair, knowing that I've won my first 4 rounds, I don't feel really bummed about it, because I have a chance to like try to come back in a particular sense. Now at the time, X1 is very hard bubble. It's very hard for you to get into top 8 already by the time. But as far as I recall, everyone in top 8 has at least lost 1 match. So I thought I have a chance, but in the end I did not. Which happened in my 7th round when I lost my goal, but we'll go that into detail, right? So Luwat going first. Now the Luwat guy was like, I think what's his name now? Was it Malvin or like Marcus? Yeah, Marcus Teal. Okay. Pretty chill, pretty funny guy. But it was a very hilarious round also, because like he misplayed a lot. I wouldn't say like misplayed a lot. Like he kind of like it kind of like sounds like I'm dissing him, but it's actually like not. I assure you it's not. But it's like there's like a very lot of like funny misplays, because like going first is still okay. During his grade 1 turn already, or grade 2 turn, he called 3 Samias, I think, or 2 or 3 Samias, and tries to rush me back. With the whole Grade 1 thingy, and Retro 3 was Retro. I think he can already reach Retro 3 by like turn 2 already. So the most significant highlight was the part that I managed to when Marcus managed to stride. That was his second strike. So he first, of course, like, you know, the first strike is gonna be like into drag driver and all that stuff. His second strike was into, surprisingly, I thought he's going to strike into drag strider, because at the time I have an OT in my hand. I have a 15k shield, I have a 1 draw trigger 10k shield, and then the 1 grade 4 in my hand. 2 grade 2s and 1 grade 1, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's how as far as I can remember. So he swings with the Ray Guard first, and then he swings with the Vanguard, and he discarded a grade 3, and he discarded a grade 3 Luwat, and then I stopped him right there and then asked him like, why are you discarding the grade 3 Luwat, right? So that's when he realized, when realization dawns upon him, that he was striding Drag Driver. That was not Drag Strider, and it was hilarious. It was funny. Yeah, because that was the huge display of his lifetime. And at the time, I think I have around like 4 damage, right? So he has about like 9 triggers out, 7 triggers left in the deck with only like 12 cards left. So the odds are pretty big. You're not gonna like the chances of him jacking a trigger is like so like very big. At the time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's swinging my Vanguard for about like 53k. So 9 triggers out, so his OT is not in. His OT has not out yet. I think his OT is not out. Yeah, his OT is not out. So I have an OT in my hand. Originally, I was about to give him to 2 to pass. But knowing that there was like huge chances for that to happen, I say like, let's give him to 3 to pass at the very least, right? First check front trigger. Second check is a critical trigger, so that's where my heart kind of like stopped a little bit. I thought I was cringing. It was like very nervous, like very cringing. Is he going to check the next trigger? Surprisingly, thank God, he did not check the third trigger. So the last card he checked was the Spiral Cutie Angel, and then he was thinking like his front trigger obviously is got like front row. Crit trigger he was giving all to Vanguard, and then the rest I can manage to guard the rest. So 1 PG and I take 1 damage, so 5 damage really. So it's my turn. I did my Ignis magic. So he has, I think, about like at the time he has like about 4 or 5 cards left in his hand, or maybe 6. I'm not mistaken. So at the time, I wrote into Ignis. I call out my magic. So at the time I have 2 mates. I remember that match specifically because I have 2 mates with 1 Zagan, my 10k booster, and 1 of the Resender. So 1 of my Resender back there. So swing with the mate, then I swing with the mate, and then I swing with the Vanguard. Then I was thinking, then he was thinking to like at least like, he guarded with 2 front triggers if I'm not mistaken. 40k, which is a 2 to pass. So I triple drive. First check critical trigger, second check a grade 2, and the third check is a crit. So I managed. I just say go all in, and I because I cannot hesitate anymore at the time, because like I know that I'm pretty sure he has a PG somewhere in his hand. So because at the time I counted the cards overall in total, he has like about like 2 PGs, like 1 in the damage or 1 in the drop. I'm not so sure. But he at least must have a PG, right? So I just go all in, right? And I managed to commit everything to Vanguard, so he just took like 4 damage, 4 damage just off straight. So which is pretty hilarious. And then after the match, we like kind of like reveal our hands or whatnot. So he has a Sanctitude in his hand. So I think which is like probably like he should have Sanctitude, and he should have guarded the rest of the mates. But even then, even if I tried to Sanctitude, if I committed all my critical triggers to my mates, Servant Fabricius, like because I've checked 2 triggers, like one side, he still won't be able to guard, right? So yeah, I mean it is what it is lah. So it's a really like a funny and hilarious match, but it's also like really a tough one because like it was very close. I was very close to losing, because of like the front and the crit. So that's about it. Now after winning that round, I lost against my goal because yeah, it is what it is lah. And I think I remember there was this one matches. It was like very tough because I did not have, even though I have like me going second, which means it's my first grade 3 turn with Dragiro. The only thing lacking at the time was that I did not have 4 different grades in my soul, so I cannot do I literally cannot do jack shit, which is very tough, very bad. And so I kind of like, you know, just swing normally, drive check, nothing happens, and I lost to my goal. So which is very, very tough. So I remember that's what happened. There was like one turn, there was like that one particular turn, I bricked so hard. That was like I didn't have any grade 3s in my soul. I don't have 4 different grades in my soul. So, which is really bad. Then the next round, my goal I kind of like lost also. I think it's because he can manage to come back. He has like, I thought I had him because he has 5 damage. And I think I have like rock uggers and whatsoever. So like I tried like that match specifically because it's on my Ignis turn. I tried like swing, but he managed to PG everything. He has 3 PGs in his hands. He's managed to block everything, and that's where I kind of like lost because he can manage to come back. And honestly speaking, he's swinging me for like 48, 53 or like 48 or 53 or like on both sides. And not to mention that Rana can drive track as well, so my effect heal, the anti-restand heal is not able to guard everything, even with a drive check. So I just like, you know, okay, yeah, can't do much already. So yeah, just shake hand, you know, lost, shake hand, call it a day. And yeah, that's how I lost. Round 9 was pretty chill. I think Jack was my opponent. Oh yeah, Melvin was my round 8. I think Melvin was my Melvin Tan was my round 8 opponent, round 7. I think it's round 8. So yeah, big shout out to you, my friend. Luwat, I lost. No, I won. Round 9, I won. There's nothing much particularly interesting about that match. I mean, there is interesting stuff, but I'm trying to like recall what has happened. I think he also like strike for 2 turns straight. He stroked into driver, which I managed to defend myself everything because I was preparing myself after surviving his first strike. I was preparing myself for like his second strike, which is like drag strider, but unfortunately he didn't. And yeah, I think that's what happened. And then grade 4 Ignis magic, and that's about it. And boom, I won that match. So in general, that's my overall experience for my whole WGP matches in this particular season 4 format. So my final thoughts. Now, final thoughts, personally, I had fun. So at the time when I was X2, at the time by the time I lost my first match, I was thinking, should I drop? But knowing that X1 is still like a huge possibility that I might get in the top 8, I say, you know, it's pretty fine. It's still be okay. Then I say X2, and then X2 on like round 7. So moving from there, I was thinking, should I just drop already, right? Because there's no way I'm getting to the top 8 already. It's very hard. But since it's already round 7, I say, you know what, screw it. Let's just play everything until the very end, and maybe just have like a, you know, whole set a record for myself first and see how it goes, right? So at the end of the day, 6-3 is not as bad as I thought. Could have been better. I think there's like several matches where I could have done better in terms of like guarding and resource management. So yeah, I think it's not a bad WGP experience for me overall. I think I really had like the most fun I had in like major tournaments for a while since season 1. And season 1 was like kind of like not bad, like kind of like a little bit bad, but because it's like my first major tournaments, it's gonna be like kind of like a bummer, kind of like a downer at the time. So I say, you know what, it's pretty fine. You know, at the end of the day, experiences is everything. I love to have fun, so yeah, that's why I'm, you know, That's why I'm playing in this season. Because like previously, for season 2 and season 3, I think I didn't really fight. I was judging. I was part of the event crew. So joining this tournament and making it this far is honestly like one of my personal best experiences I've ever had in major tournaments. So yeah, I think that's all my experiences. I think that's all my story. Yeah, I think that's about it. So whew. Alright, I think I'm gonna like stop my rambling over here because like I cannot really think like what else can I want to say and add. But overall, it was a very fun experiences. I want to thank every one of you. And congratulations to all top 8 players. I want to say like congrats to all my friends who have made it that far. For those of you who didn't feel very down, I want to say like a huge shout out and thank you to all of you, especially to my good bunch of friends, Kendrick, Yihang, who else? Chester, Alex, Soyung Hui, and the rest of all of you, Ali, Benson, all of you guys were really amazing, very supportive. Matthew as well. Who else? That's like a lot of you who like knowing me going for 4 wins in my first my first 4 matches, like giving me that kind of like emotional support means a lot to me. And I'm pretty sure that maybe for some of you guys it might be a little bit of a downer, but for all of us, I think it's a very nice experience to have. I think we can have to take this opportunity to try to like grow and learn together, and knowing well that in the near future, I think we can do better and think how one day we can get all into top 8, or maybe like try to qualify to Japan. I don't know, manage to get into finals or whatsoever. But I think it's pretty nice. Yeah, pretty good. And so like yeah, to all of my friends as well. Chai, John, Jerry, Aaron, Andy, all of you guys. I really love all of you guys. I thank you so much for your support. Yeah. And if I didn't mention your name, please don't feel too bad. I still remember you. Who else is there? Who else was there? You know, Iskandar. Yeah, Iskandar also did very well. Actually speaking, like he got like 5-2 or like lost. I kind of lost 2 rounds. He kind of lost 2 rounds, but he still managed to go forward with that. So kind of nice. Who else was with me at the time? Wei Hao was also like Wei Hao also got like 4-0 by the time we finished 4th match. So yeah, shout out to all of these people. So trying to think like as much as I can, but this video I think is gonna like reach 32 minutes if I don't stop. Like let me see. Alright, okay, it's already 32 minutes. Okay, so I really can't think of anyone else on the top of my head, like for those of you who was there. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I think this is my personal vlog, sharing my experiences and having like a lot of fun in WGP season 4. So thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next video. It could be my deck profile, so stay tuned for that. I probably should do my deck profile on my review works later on. So that's about it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. This has been a rather long video, but I just really want to like share this experience because personally speaking, I've never managed to reach this far in a major tournament. So consider this like a huge milestone for me, I would say. But yeah, that's about it. See you guys on the next video. This has been Professor Inox 095 saying out. I'll see you guys on the next video. See you. Ciao.